front. That is it. Hi guys, welcome back. I already finished my shear, so it's time now to do the block out. I'll already gone ahead because I'm doing two different colors, one for the living room, one for the bedrooms. So already gone ahead and cut this out because the most of the colors that I'll be working with is gray. So I was trying hard to get a turquoise color, but I can't seem to get any. But I know gray and this matches well with gray, half white, and this is mustard. So I already cut this out. Few things I want to share with you. If you're doing drapery, it's gonna be there for a while, so you want to be durable. Therefore, you want to make sure that whatever you're doing fits most of your furnitures, fits most of your decor in your house. So you don't want to have a color that you're not familiar with, or should I say you don't have as much decor to go with that for that duration of time. Say for example you're doing it for a year or 2 years, you don't want that to happen. So you're gonna choose a color. However, I choose this color for the, a little closer, it has a little sheen to it. This is actually a cream with a strip of gold to go with it. So so this I'll use in all the bedrooms, and I'm actually doing a pinch pleat. The windows that I'm doing, they're not as regular as normal windows. Like you see a 110 drop or a 100 or whatever, or 90. This is very short windows. So therefore you don't want to make the emming too big because it will throw it off. So you don't want to make your emming say about 2 to 3 inches. Yeah, you don't want it to be too tall, the emming, and then you realize that maybe the 1/8 or a quarter of the measurement is on hemming. You don't want that. So you make it as minimal as possible, as I said, 2 to 3 inches. What I'll be doing is 2 inches though, based on the size of the window. It's say about 58 in length, in height, length, height, same thing. The width, however, is wide. So yeah, so I'm gonna, some of these drapes they have to joining them, making sure you serge them off. And if you look at the back of your drape, you realize that you have a selvage. This is about, see, 1.25 inches. It's more than 1 inch though. Where is my tape measure? I could quickly grab my tape measure and show you. Okay, so let me grab my glasses also. So if you look carefully, yeah, that's the selvage part of it. And just as I thought, it's 1.25 inches to be exactly. 1.25 inches. So with that, you want to do the sewing. You see that little dark color line? You want to do your sewing to that. So that part will be serged off. You don't want to see your drapery having this on it. Your blackout is supposed to be like that, just like that. You're not supposed to see all those. You don't see you're gonna stitch beyond this line. Most of them do not have this, but you will still see something. Definitely see that little piece. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start cutting these out. Whatever measurement you get, you wanna go and you want if you're using a buckram, whether it's 3 inches or 4 or 5 or 6, you want to do an extra inch, because when you put on the buckram, you're going to bend it like that, and this bend is always be 1 inch. So if, say for example, you're using a 4-inch buckram, you're going to cut onto the length of the material, you want to do an extra 5 on that. And on the hemming, regular hemming is between 3 to 5 or 6 inches. As I said, depends on that. Then you're gonna add twice. When I say twice, meaning if you're doing, say, 4 inches hemming, you wanna do 8 inches addition to that, because you're gonna do like 4 and then bend again for another 4. So you don't see anything. You don't want it looking like that, right? If you bend it one time, you don't want to see that. When you bend it then, it will look more neater. So you want to put, say, 8 inches onto the height of where you want your drape to end. So you're going to add that extra 8 inches plus the 5 inches if you're using a 4-inch buckram. As I said, 4-inch plus the 1, or 3-inch plus the 1, whatever. So I'm going to use a 4-inch buckram. So what you'll be seeing is 4 inches plus 1 is 5. And as I said, the short window is 58 inches. So it will be 58 plus 5 plus 8. No, sorry, I'm not going to use 8 inches. My apology. I'm going to use 2 inches. So it will be 4 inches. So my measurement would be 2 inches plus 2, which is 4. And the buckram at the top is 5, so it's 9 plus the 58. So you'll be going ahead and cut that out and making sure that the width of the window, say you have on a width of 60, you want to make sure that the width of the material that you're working with is 2 1/4 times. Let me explain that. As I said, what if you're using a 60 width? You're doing a pinch pleat. You want to do 60 plus 60 plus 15, or even 30. You could do 2.5. The more the merrier. So you don't want to double it, because what you'll be taking in is more than what you'll be leaving out. Because this what you'll be taking in, that's what they're going to make the pinch pleat, and that's what carrying off the design. So you want to do 2 1/4, 2.5. I would say 2.5 to be nicer. 2.5 times the measurement. So if it's 60, you want to measure 150. So it's 60 plus 60 plus 30. So you want to make a width. Before you start to pinch pleat, make sure you have a wide width of 150 inches before you start to tuck. So by the time you tuck, you'll have that 150. And saying this 150, you're going to have two different pieces of drapery, so that 150 will be split in half. So therefore, if the measurement is 60, you're going to make one side is 30, one side is 30. So you're going to have 75 and 75, if that makes sense. You got me? So you're going to do 75 inches there, 75 inches on the other side. So it's 2 separate pieces of drapery. So when you close them, in the middle. And the bigger the window, if the material is really heavy, say for example you work with a wide material of say 300 inches, you don't want to have a measurement of a 150 on one side and 150 on the other side, and then you have to have at least 400 and something inches to, it's going to be too heavy. You're going to split those in like 4. So you don't want to have more than maximum 3 panels at a time joined together, because it's going to be too heavy if you're using a blockout. If you're using a shear, fine, you could do as much, but once it's a blockout, it's gonna be too heavy. So those are some tips that I share with you for the drapery. So I'm gonna go ahead now and start to cut this drapery, because as I said earlier, I already cut this out. So this is out of the picture for now. So I'm going to just put this aside and start the ball rolling on the other end. So that's it. All right, you want to make sure that the material is even at the ending of the table, and make sure line the fabric at the edge. So it's, you know, it's even. Just put them a matter of fact, a double material first. Put them selvage to selvage, make sure they're straight. But on one hand, it's lean, and by coming out, you realize that, so you know that piece need to get off. You need it come off. So getting a straight edge, I'm gonna measure from the top of the table down to where I'm gonna cut. It's 21.5. What the other end, 21.5. So I'm gonna mark where the 21.5 stop. This 21.5 stop here. So you know you're gonna just use my ruler. It's 21 stop here. And at the edge of that. And right there. So I'm gonna cut it all off. And you have a lot of people that only watch, but they're not subscribing. I don't know why. When I check my analysts at times, or my views on the, if you look in the studio, even this morning, you see persons that watches my video, 79% that is not a subscriber, and the ones that watch is 21%. So you have 79% that are not subscriber that watches, and you have 21% that are subscriber watch. So I just don't understand. If you're getting something from my video, please subscribe to the video now. May I beg you, please share some love. I'm gonna go ahead now and cut off this piece. That is it. You see, it's not a big piece, it's a small little edge in it. Sometimes it can go off. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead now and measure up my material, and after I'm finished measuring up, then it's time to take my drapery and go straight to the machine, and you'll see how I join them and then come back and to serge them. Then after serging, then I put on the buckram. Then after the buckram, then it's almost done. Trust me. The hardest part on this is turning it over. By watching and watching, you realize there's some little pieces on that. So follow with me here. I'm gonna go ahead now. It's already lined up. I'm just gonna go ahead now and start cutting. So guys, we have finished cutting our drapery, so it's time now to sew. So this is the buckram I'm using, and that's the material as I showed you when I was cutting it out. So because this part is the selvage, I'm gonna start my buckram from where you see that white line, but I'm gonna go an inch from the top and I bend it nicely. Okay, that's the sound of the machine. You don't necessarily have to back stitch, but I like to back stitch. So I'm gonna go along. Securely installing the buckram onto the drape. If you don't have the buckram, you don't have to use it if you don't have it. If the material is thick enough like this. But it looks way much better having the buckram on it. And if you realize I hold the ending of the draper and not allowing the material to feed by itself because it's heavy and it have a tendency of dragging. So you want to nicely hold it, fold it at the edge, kind of use the fingertip and pull it along, hold it up the other end and press. So guys, remember the 5 inches I was telling you about. So the buckram is 4 inches, that's 4 inches buckram, and the 1 inch that I bend to put on the buckram. So addition, as I was saying, addition to your measurement that you need to put 5 inches, that's 1 inch for the buckram, and 4 inch for the buckram, what am I saying, and 1 inch for the bend. This draper I'm doing now is actually for a regular size window, which is 90 inches. So I can do 4 inches of hemming. So what I did, I leave off an extra 8 inches. So it's 8 inches plus the 5 plus the height of that you need. So as I go closer to the ending part of the finishing of the buckram, so what I do, I sort of see that little black mark right there. So I'm gonna cut along the buckram on it. So here we go. So I'm detaching the buckram from the piece on the drapery and finishing it. So this part of it, you're gonna bend it like this. After bending, you want to secure it. So what I'm doing is to secure it with a pin. I'm going to take the measurement. I'm going to use a 120-inch tape because it's better. Because when it's the other regular one, like what I have around my neck, is 60, but you'll have to join it, do twice. So I want to get the 90 that I wanted. So after bending the buckram, you're going to use, from the tip of it, you're going to need 90 inches, as I said. from a 9 inches measurement window. Well, I need the finishing to be 90. So I go all the way down. All the way down, and I'm gonna put a mark where the 90 stop, and on the other side I'm gonna do the same thing. So the rest of it is gonna use as hemming. So you just go on the other side and do the same, okay? So I finish measuring from the top, from the buckram down to the hemming where I want it. So what I'm doing now is to actually bend my 4 inches. It's more comfortable for me sitting around the machine since it has a built-on table. So I can actually, you know, just sit around the table and do it instead of for me to stand around that other table. So this is big enough, can do what I'm doing here. So each time I tuck under, I keep measuring, making sure I have my 4 inches. So what I'm doing, each time I fit in that 4 inches, I pin it down, and I pin the pin, I don't know if it's horizontal or vertical, but that way. So I think that's vertical. So all the way down to the other end, and I pin as I go. Pinning this way, you can just sew over the needle. When I reach in the sewing procedure, I'll show you that the needle can actually go over those pins without breaking them. So I'm pinning along. Okay, so because it was a double panel, so I joined them. It's actually a double panel. I'm using 2 of this, 2 double panel for that window. It's sewing time. So put that presser foot down, turn my machine on. It is sewing time. So this is the hemming process, and these are the pins. It's over the pins. You see that? The pin is still intact. So I just ride it all the way over them. To the end. Finish sewing it now. I'm removing my pins. Just gonna remove all these pins. So I like to start from the end, this end that I start from, that I actually finish. So I'm just gonna bend one time and bend another time, and that is about 1.25 inches. You can do it 1.5 inches, you can do it 1 inch, depending on your style, but do not do it less than 1 inch. This is actually 1.25 inches. So we're gonna stitch it all the way down. Make sure that you hem before you start. Make sure you hem the bottom before you start doing the side. If you do the side before you hem, then when you do the side, when you're ready to fold, it's gonna leave a loop at the bottom. You don't want anything to filter through that loop, and it's not gonna look that classy. So yeah, don't start from the side. Just hem it first, then you do it from the side, and then you wanna capture that same size. If you can't do it as I'm doing it, you can pin it all the way down, but trust me, it's a lot. So if you can manage to estimate that 1.5 inches all the way down to the top, because I'm actually hemming it from the bottom up. I mean, stitch it from the bottom up towards the buckram. So when you reach at the top with the buckram, that's when you're gonna start pleating up. But I'm not gonna do this side, the other side, because sometimes when you continue to when you pleat, you know, you have that advantage of, you know, bending it as how you want it, as long as you get the same size as this. Guys, I'm at the ending of the first side. So because it's more than one room and there are different measurements for an easier process, what I did was to put a tag in so I can always see where it's, because this says bedroom number 2 and the length and the width, so I know exactly where this is supposed to be. So I'll start by 4 inches, measure 4 inches, you stop at the 4 inches and then measure 6 inches. That 6 inches, you're gonna fold it. That's the 4 and here's the 6. So you're gonna fold it in half like that. Make a crease, and at the point where you see your fold, remember the 4 inches here and the 6 is here. So you're gonna lock it. Hold it in place, put it under the machine, and we're gonna seam off right exactly where the 4 and the 6 meet. You're gonna stop right at the buckram. You're not going past the buckram in. So you're supposed to have something looking like this. So this is supposed to be 3 inches. Now this is from here to here is 4, and from this end to the other end is 6. So we just lock it together and seam it down. This part, however, we're gonna do this. We're gonna put your finger in here, hold here, brace a little bit, slightly comes up. What we're trying to do, we're trying to lock in 3 pleats. There you have it. So you just kind of, something like that, push it down, squeeze it to the end while tucking this one in. And there you have it. So it's not gonna just leave like that, you're gonna place it this way under the machine, because what we'll be doing, we'll be stitching across from the line to the end. Okay. Clip all those threads. just like that. Just like that. So we'll be doing this throughout the entire piece of drape. So you're gonna start from here now, and we're gonna continue 4 inches. I have a ruler on the machine, so that's why. So you have 4 inches and then 6 inches. We're gonna lock, making sure that it's correct. Making sure you clip all your threads. You don't want anything to hang down. Detail by detail. So as soon as you finish that one, you just rack it in. Make sure you put your finger like that. Rack it in, pull that finger out, hold it, and squeeze. Center of the 4 inch, we're gonna go across. You can do it more than once, like, you know, making sure your thread ties. So I'll be doing this all the way to the other end. Domestic machine is a no-no. However, if the pleat can't be too small, or else you're not going to have this nice gathering. So this is actually a pinch pleat. And we're gonna pleat. We're actually gonna pleat the pinch pleat when we're ironing. So it's a pleated drape. Pleated drape at the top of it. The detail at the top is pinch pleat. So there you have it, guys. That's it. So that's the ending of it. So what I'll do, I'll just fold this the 1.25 inches. So this should be able to give me the 4 inches, just like the start. And there we have it, 4 inches. So what I did was just continue with the 4, 4, 6, 4, 6. Sometimes you can go 4, 5.5, 5 3/4, depending on the rest of the material you have. So you could just actually continue to measure to see your balance and do your maths and see what you work up with. So I'll be doing this last part. So I'm gonna continue the video until the last part. Guys, trust me, this drape is really, really heavy. The blackout material is heavy and it's double panel. So having a double panel, can you imagine hanging this up? Looking so good, guys, trust me. I'll show you the finishing. So after this, I'll do another video of showing you how to iron them. So look out for that video after this one. So that will be in another video. So if you're liking the video so far and you're not yet a subscriber, what you're hearing is an airplane. Where I'm sewing is not too far from where the airport is, so all those noise, I can't help it. But I'm happy you make it to the ending of this video. So if you're not yet a subscriber, please do subscribe. Sometimes they're not yet a subscriber and they watch it to the end of the video. Even if you're not yet a subscriber, you make it to the end of the video, give it a thumbs up. And thank you very much for watching from the start to the finish. And as I said, I'll be making another video how to iron a drape to show you how to get those fancy pleats on and where on the drape you're supposed to hold to have it the perfect way. So this is a nice way of saying Merry Christmas to you all. Ooh. And this drape, whenever it hangs, and it's gonna hang for Christmas. Guys, this has been a very disappointing moment for me because of my shipping company that I always use. I did not get a chance to hang those drapery for Christmas. It's very disappointing for both me and the customer. And as you can see, they're still ironed and packed there and nothing. I called them on several occasions and the only thing that they said, okay, I should be able to get them by next week, Monday. That is Monday the 30th, somewhere we are about. And as you can see, they promised a 3 to 5 days delivery, but apparently it didn't work out that way. So that's all the cookie crumbles. Life still goes on, and I still have quality content to show to you. So as soon as I get them and hanging them up, I'll be showing you those guys. So you do. So I'll be hanging this, iron it, hang it. This is not the only one, but I was just illustrating the procedure of the shear and the full drape of how it is done. So thank you again, guys. Continue to watch my video, and I cannot stress enough, if you're not a subscriber, what you waiting for? I have a lot more videos to come, guys, but just give me the support, please, so I can be able to feed you on more. So tell you what, peace, I'm out. Merry Christmas, guys.